Good evening. I hope you're doing all right, everyone. Welcome back to another bullshit transfer rumours where we're going to take a look at all of the transfer rumours that are happening over the weekend. We are indeed. I can see a couple of your comments have come in, which is great to see. We've got Senshi Monday. Paul Mitchell will be able to start rework on the ownership. And Geordie, Tune for Life, good to see you, pal. And he says the Chronicle are also to blame here for stirring the shite. If I was the owners, I would ban them for a period of time, let them know that these stories are harmful to the club and the fans. Are you referring to when they rehash them and share them from other sources, I'm guessing? But I hope you're doing all well. Everyone's doing okay. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Twitch as well. Get your comments in. You'll see them that way. Yep, I'm pointing the right direction. Evening, Geordie, Tune for Life. I hope you're doing all right. And also we have a competition on for our members. We can win the pro shirt, which is canny. All you got to be is a member. There's a button underneath where it says join, only like 9 pence, and you get some nice videos as well. I hope you're doing all right, Lee. Yeah, I'm much better, thank you. I think I've finally recovered from COVID, because I've had COVID for the first time, playing a little violin, but I've been out, to be honest with you, just a bit of a sore heat and that, so. But we've got a few transfer rumours that we are going to talk about tonight for you. So we've got James Trafford, Ellie Junior Crop, if I've said that right. You've probably not heard of this lad. We've also got a coming back for Somerville from Leeds as well, another rumour. Anthony Gordon, of course, as well, and Martin Dubravka, and we'll touch upon briefly at the end about the lasses as well. Great to see you. Seattle has upgraded your membership as well, so thank you very much. Aaron, nice to see you as well, and good to see Mr. Jonathan Greenwood spying on us tonight, is also in the live chat as well. But I want to touch upon the first one tonight, which of course is brought up with James Trafford once again. Now, Alan Nixon of The Sun, and you can take this with a pinch of salt, The Sun, let's be honest with you. Are we going back in for James Trafford? He thinks that Newcastle will come back in from. I disagree. I would have went with that a couple of weeks ago when we didn't sign the with two goalkeepers, and I forgot for a second where I was for a minute, but I think Martin Dubravka, obviously we'll touch upon him in a minute. We've got 5 goalkeepers already, and having a 6th, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Let me know if you disagree, but I just can't see it. And obviously he is rumoured to be linked with, where did I see him also linked today as well? Who was it? There was a club, was it Chelsea, that I seen him linked to early on in the day, but I can't say it now. I think this had more legs a few weeks ago. But Newcastle have obviously sorted out from what it looks like, from Forrest and obviously John Ruddy, 2 goalkeepers, and as I say, Martin Dubravka as well. But I personally can't say it's going for another goalkeeper. I think that's it. I think Dubravka will leave, and that's the goalkeepers for the rest of the season. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. But look, what do we think of that as well? I was going to put some fancy graphics up, but I haven't had time to repair because I've only just finished work 20 minutes ago. But I don't think this is happening. It's not. It is not happening for me. Let's come back and see what you're saying back into the live chat. Let's have a little look then. Adria, hopefully I've pronounced that right. Hi, Lee. How are you going? Newcastle should sign a Gardo deal for Newcastle United. Pedro Neto. He was linked a few days ago. Pedro Neto, 60 million for Newcastle. Federico Chiesa deal. He's been linked again. Well, not linked, pushed. I would probably just say 2 and 2 together. Look, I wouldn't be against Chiesa. I think it'll cost a lot of money, and I think it would be an absolute fit on that right-hand side. He can also play on the left side as well. He's only got 1 year left on his deal at Juventus. He would be a great signing. He's 27, still felt relatively young, can still give you a few years as well. And Jason, it's always Chelsea as well. Hi Lee, how are you again? Says the same person. Adieri is from what we're saying here. How are you? Newcastle United just signed James Trafford for 20 million. I disagree. I think we're done. I think we're actually to Jay in Atlanta. Good to see you, Jay. Even all excited for the window, hoping that we spend big on a right winger. Yeah, and there is talk that we are going to hold out and go big, aren't there? I think we'll have to be honest with you. And Aaron's gone out to say if Trafford was like 50 million, it might be worth it, but Burnley won't double that. And Geordie, Tune for Life. Oh, let's not talk about the F1. Your boys from Ferrari didn't do well today. Off subject, I know. Yes, but a future Ferrari driver won the British Grand Prix. Am I right? You know? Think positive, however. Think positive. Geordie doing for life. No, Ferrari have been struggling for the last few Grand Prix, and McLaren have come back really strong the last few races. But I'll not bore anybody with the F1. That's for another chat for another day. But do keep your comments. And if you're watching it and you're liking this layout and stuff like that, you know, however, drop us a like for the video. I want to talk about the next one, which is this guy, and he's called Ellie Junior Croppy, and he plays for Lorient. Ooh, I've said that well, haven't I? He's a forward who can play anywhere across the front line. He's played 31 games, I believe, off the top of my head, scoring 5 goals this season. And I looked at him before, he's only 18. Would Newcastle have him in the first team? I don't think so. However, he could be that third choice striker that we're after. But it's not really out there. You'll probably see this story on a couple of outlets tomorrow because it's only just come out the past couple of hours, this one. So you probably see this kid's link tomorrow. But it could be the third choice, but it's a risk if you are going to have him third choice. 5 goals in 31 games. Doesn't sound great, but it's his breakthrough season. Got to give the kid a fair whip. He's labelled as a wonder kid. And I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't seen the kid play. Don't watch much League Earn. Maybe we should get Steve back on the channel and tell us all about him. But third choice striker, someone young who's happy to be on the bench and play start 1 in 4 games or what have you, and play the odd cup game and stuff like that. I can get it, and you can also play on the forward. I can see where the link is made. But for me personally, because the website that started the rumour is not a massive, well-known rumour, I'm going to go with not for me. I don't think this is happening. But I can get why he's been linked. I really can, because that would make sense with obviously Isaac, and then you got Callum Wilson, and then you got your third choice as well. But I get it. I do get it as well. Let's have a look at what you're saying back into the live chat, everyone. Right. What we're saying, I love Ferrari, my dream car. I would like a Ferrari as well, but fortunately YouTube don't pay enough. Sell Miggy, bring on Eze. That would be a great sign. Eze, I know. Excuse me. Michael Elise's just got his dream move to Bayern. That's just went through this evening, literally the past half an hour. James has gone out and say, has Anthony Gordon rubbed Gareth Southgate the wrong way or something? I still can't believe he can't get any minutes in this team, and as he has. We'll touch upon Gordon. Hold that thought. Wolfson, hope you're all right, pal. And Young's gone out and say, I can't believe that we're not linked to Turkey's Barış Alba Yilmaz for 25 million. He's been insane in this Euros. Rapid winger with brilliant defensive capabilities, perfect for house tactics. I think a couple of Turkish players have done really well, to be honest with you. I didn't know what's his name again, the guy with the curly hair who plays fullback. He was born in Holland, play left and right. I think he's been decent. Obviously got under. It was obviously everyone knows about as well. Should Federico Chiesa, I've already seen that comment there yet. And Brian's gone to say, we're having all goalkeeper crew. Trafford is available and highly rated. I think we can go from. For me, I think we're sorted for goalkeepers. I don't want to go crazy and have a third goalkeeper come in signing. I'm all right with what we've got. As long as Pope's injury, I'm kind of contradicting myself saying Pope's injury because you never know if he's going to have a full season now. But I don't want to say that area strengthened, to be honest with you. I think there's other areas of the pitch. Obviously got Miley out for 3 months, but I think we're going to be all right in centre mid. It's got to be a right winger and possibly a third choice striker for me. Lawrence is in the chat as well, who writes some articles for us as well. So thank you, Lawrence, for doing that as well. And Martin's gone and say, I've seen that Nico Williams has a £50 million release clause, some player and young. Yes, I love him. Sam's got his pick, and Kudo, I love Nico Williams. Banged on about before the Euros, play left or right, but his wages at the minute are 170,000 currently at the minute. So to get him in Newcastle, you're probably going to have to push that up a couple of 20,000 or so. And Mark's gone and say, if Gordon did leave, not that I want him to, I'd love to see Kvaratskhelia come in. I've done well to pronounce that, haven't I? Can tell I've been learning that one name. As a replacement, what about Pope, Ipswich, Mama Dashvili? Stop saying these Georgian names. Kuba just in time for pre-season, says Aaron. And also Geordie's doing for life. Cadigula, something like that, with very hard work and skill. And Ray has gone out to say owners need to put a stop to selling our top players. We need them if we're going to progress. Williams to go into Barca, says Bud. I heard that as well. I've seen that linked. I think the lads at Match of the Day were talking about that. I think, just touching upon Ray's comment, we haven't sold any of our big 3 players. We've kept them because of the PSR. We've kept Gordon, we've kept Isaac, we've kept Bruno. Bruno's past his transfer sell-by date coming by me. He's past that date. This with the release clause. I think Gordon has been linked, which we will talk to him in a minute as well. But I don't think any of those three are going this season. I don't think if we don't get Champions League, I think that could be a totally different matter though next season. I'm worried about if we don't get that. Yes, Geordie Tune for Life, thank you very much for that. That's the player that will link. I'll come back to your comments very, very shortly. Now, this one, it's not the first time that we've been linked to Somerville. Team Talk, again, is it a credible source? Not for me. He's on Transfer Market. He's rated around about 20 million. Decent Dutch winger, left or right. Had a great season in the Championship, but the Championship, do we need to sign players from the Championship and they're going to come in and take us up to the next level? Because he's not getting that left-hand side flank. And I think if Miggy drops to the Championship, I think Miggy has a great season. Jacob Murphy will have a good season now. I think Murphy's improved. But for me, Somerville, they're asking, Team Talk say that they want up to 40 million. 40 million for a lad who's not proven and who's inconsistent in the Premier League when he was with Leeds. For me, I'm against this move. If Newcastle were to go for it, not for me. Not for me. I just cannot see it. And I think the asking price puts everybody off. I really do. I just can't see it. I think it's a rumour over the weekend that's just, it's gone. The rumour's passed and Team Talk are trying to regurgitate it again. Not for me. It's not happening. It's not happening, everybody. Let's come back to a main chat and see what he's saying as well. Ray says, yeah, but I think the big threat of selling is there, mate. I do agree. I think there is there because it's the three best forward players, aren't there? I think going for a right winger, says Martin, should be Kubu. Yep, Sam's talked about him. 40 million is too much. You're telling me it's ridiculous, that fee? That's what they say, up to 40 million. Are you mental? And I'm all right. Do you believe that we can sign Federico Chiesa? The best time to sign Chiesa is now, because he's only got 12 months left on his contract. It'll be now because he's going to have to make or break. Juve are going to either have to sell him or run the risk of running down that contract. Unless he signs a contract again, he's got a big couple of months ahead of him, Chiesa. Geordie says Lee Mitchell working his magic, has everywhere his fingers crossed. Yeah. Adjeri as well. You keep asking the same question. I don't know if you just keep copy and pasting, but you keep pasting the same stuff over. And also, yeah, Kubo is another one as well. Would be an excellent signing. Of course, he would be absolutely fantastic. And we're coming up to the big one, which of course is Anthony Gordon. Now, Anthony Gordon again. Now, with these, they've got no credibility whatsoever. Football Insider, they're the ones who've started the rumour once again with Anthony Gordon. I mean, Football Insider, did they get anything right? Anything right at all? The amount of shit that they stir is unbelievable. And not just that. And I'm wanting to talk because I'm talking about Football Insider, but the amount of people that reshare it on social media and saying, oh, Anthony Gordon's linked to Liverpool, blah, 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 claiming Football Insider. Stop sharing that shite. And then it wouldn't make this video, would it? Contradict myself. But do you know what I'm getting at? Football Insider say that Liverpool are going to come back in for a second attempt rather, for Anthony Gordon. And then Manchester City have all of a sudden entered the race as well. Bollocks, man. Absolute fucking bollocks. I think there'll be interest in him, but that's different to actually taking the next step further. Like, Newcastle will be interested in probably about 50 to 100 players on their shortlist for each position. Doesn't mean to say that it's genuine that they want to go through. And, like, you know, people have interest in Kylian Mbappe, but they're not going to go and sign Kylian Mbappe and I sign for Real Madrid. But you get where I'm going with this. So, Anthony Gordon, obviously a Liverpool fan, kept that quiet while he was at Everton, didn't he? If further in his career, I could probably see that. But at this stage at the moment, he's progressed and his trajectory is like that in the minute. It's very, very high. I think it's a little bit, if Newcastle, obviously, if he wants to go to Liverpool, I don't think it's now. I think it's next summer is a big summer for all of our three big players. Depending where Newcastle finish, we've got to finish in the Champions League spot because we run the risk of losing Isaac, Gordon and Bruno for me. Because if we didn't qualify, I think they'll look at it and think, do you know what? I'm not progressing here. I'm not progressing in terms of winning things. Gordon's obviously gone like that. Isaac's probably had a higher trajectory as well. And Bruno probably to some extent as well. I think his profile's raised as well coming to the club. So all three probably. But not for me. Not for me. Clickbait. Clickbaity shite. Don't like it. Shite. I get the link. Obviously, the PSR was rumoured that Liverpool wanted to have a little sneaky bid and what have you, whether that's true or not on PSR deadline, whatever. But for me, I get the link because he's Scouse and he's a red. We kept that quiet, but nah, it's not happening. It's not happening, is it? Let's be honest with you. But let's have a look at what you lot are saying. Another right winger we should look at. Jared Bowen is a good shout, says Martin. Really good shout as well. And Mackenzie Family Life says Liverpool will struggle a bit this season, I think, to adjust from a manager they've been used to. It's going to be hard. It's a big season for them, massive season. Liverpool have loads of players who are left forward, left wing. Sorry, how much game time will Gordon get? I think he'll be first choice. I think he'll be ahead of Luis Diaz. I think he will be if he was to. We need twice what we paid for Gordon and make it worthwhile. I would say 3 times. Fuck it, gone 3 times. When he paid with 45 million from or 50 million, and I'm still being uneasy about it. We can't become a selling club again, eking out margins instead of consolidating. But easy for me to say a strong squad. And Martin's going to say if City were willing to pay 40-60 million for Alvarez, I think they got Alvarez on the cheap because he was a little bit unknown, wasn't he? But yeah, we need a new striker. No more Callum Wilson, says Wolfzone. I disagree. I think we need to keep Wilson, but I think we need to add a third, maybe someone to come towards the end of the career. Or also coming to who's at the start of the career, who's, like I say, that French kid earlier on, who needs to, someone like, funny enough, Hugo Nketiah, who we were linked to last season, would be ideal as a third choice because he can play anywhere across the front line. By the way, Lee, the layout of your stream is spot on. Thank you very much for that. Nice little compliment. And I think Gordon has faith in Eddie Howe. Totally agree. Jordi, Diaz and Gakpo can play on the left, so he won't leave this summer. And Aaron says if we get the right quality and squad depth, 1 game a week, we should be getting top 4. I agree. I think we'll get top 5. And we should, realistically, the Premier League, because Man United and Newcastle had the group of death, didn't help Europe by progressing in the top 2. It was close towards the end, but I think next season, I think 5th place will get the Champions League as well. Lauren's going to say Wilson's good to have as a squad player, but his contract runs out next summer. Yeah, I don't think he's got much sell-on value, 10, 15 million. I don't think it's loads, mind. In my opinion, we need a goalkeeper, a defensive midfielder, a right winger, and a goalkeeper, says Terraces. And City can have Gordon for 50 million plus Haaland. In all honesty, what would be a realistic bait to sell Anthony Gordon? Realistically, it's got to be our 100 million. If Bruno's worth 100 million, it's got to be 110, 120. You've got to start going up, haven't you? And he wanted it up front as well. He didn't want installments. He wanted it up front, man, so he can reimburse that. But look, I don't think he's going. Didn't want him to go. I think it's just students who make shite up at Football Insider who are trying to get clicks to the website because they're fairly new. Ad revenue. That's where we're going. That is where we're going. And then we're last one from the men's point of view, and it's come back around once again with Martin Dubravka, and the Daily Record have mentioned him yet again. There's links with him going to Celtic. I can see that Joe Hart is retired. Celtic need a goalkeeper. Dubravka's probably a good age now, 35. He's got 1 year left on his Toon deal. I get it. I do get it. I get the link. I genuinely think there is a little bit of interest in him because he's no longer first choice. So, do you know what? I'm going to give this applause. I think there is a bit of truth in that. I do. I think Celtic have some truth in Dubravka, and I think it's the time for Dubravka to leave. I think it's right. He's not going to play much game time. We've got too many goalkeepers as it is. It just makes sense for him to go and be number 1. He'll still keep his place with Slovakia. I don't think that's under threat for the next couple of years, and that'll take him to he's 37, and then I don't know whether he wants to stick around and retire or not, but otherwise, Nick Pope, if he's fit, Dubravka's only going to play the League Cup games. Or FA Cup if we get lower league sides, and you're probably talking 6, 7, 8 games if you're lucky this season. Assuming Pope stays fit, that is. But I think it's ready. I think it's time for Dubravka to leave. He's fantastic, especially the first 2 years of his Toon career. Came in, it was a bit of unknown. It was like, wow, what a signing. Initially on loan, made it permanent dead quickly. Great signing by Rafa Benitez. Incredible. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant signing for the first couple of years, but I get it, and I think it should happen because I think we've got too many goalkeepers, and for me, I'd like to see Dubravka play first team football. I don't think he's at the top for me anymore, and we're seeing it with one of the games in Slovakia. in the game in the group stage, where I think it was a fault for one of the 2 goals in the group stage, where they got beat, but they still went. Did they get beat? They did, and they still went through. But for me, no, I think Dubravka's time to leave as well. 15 million for Gordon, nothing more. 150 you mean? 150 you mean? I was going to say, wouldn't sell, definitely not. Agreed, he can go up another level, I reckon. He's on about Gordon, SC. Mackenzie Family Life has said about Dubravka. It'd be a good move for him. But this will be a massive miss for us. Done us a good service, and Young's gone out and say, what do you think of us keep being linked to Premier League players? Meanwhile, most of them are overpriced, and players abroad like the Brunos, the Cabayas, etc., much more affordable, especially with FFP and FPSR. Do you know what I would like to do? And I think I'd like to have a look. If you did want to go for a defender, why don't you test the resolve of Milan with Tomori a little bit? Because how much could you get Tomori for? I reckon you can get Tomori for under 30 million. And 30 million is not much. I reckon you could. So bring him back to England. Yes, he's had a good start in Milan for the last couple of years, but we never know. But it's not someone I'll go out all for, because I don't think necessarily a centre back is it's a priority. I think a right winger has to be for me. But I think for Newcastle, you see all these players that we've signed recently. They're not like wow, do you know what I mean? They're all like squad players in the Premier League, and I'm probably being disheartened to Lloyd Kelly because he was a regular at Bournemouth, but it's Bournemouth, you know what I mean? He's coming to Newcastle, and I don't see him being a regular when Sven Botman's back. I think Dan Burn will be tucked in at centre-back as well, and that gives the opportunity for Lewis Hall, who's signed permanently, to go on and try and make that left-back his own. And I think Matty Targett is probably going to struggle for game time, and now that Jamal Lewis needs to head out the door because he's got 1 year left. He's not going to play any games. He's like 4th choice left back or something. And then you've got Trippier, who can also fill in over that left back. You know, you've got Livramento, who can do a job there. You've got loads of options there for me. So Ray's gone to say that would do transfers, but I reckon we should play a pre-season, not so friendly with the Mackems. Well, it looks like the pre-season set, doesn't it? Obviously, I'm at the whole game, so I'll be bringing the coverage there. I'm at Japan for 9 days. So I'll be bringing the 2 coverages over there and what's going on over there. And obviously the Seller Cup. There might be one more, possibly. Remember last year it was Gateshead first, wasn't it? I don't know if that's going to happen again. Obviously we're waiting for the under-21s. Still waiting for the Lasses to announce theirs as well. Obviously their season kicks off a few weeks later than the men's. But we'll see. We'll have to see on the pre-season stuff. Which players are gone, do you think? Well, from this squad, I think you need to get rid of Fraser. I think that'll happen. It's done well at Southampton. Hayden has still got, 2.5, 3 years? Still, we need to get rid of Lewis. I think Dubravka can go. I don't think any of the centre midfield go. If we get a right winger that allows Miggy to leave, I think that'll happen. I don't think Kraft will go because he signed a 1-year contract extension. Just trying to think across that back line as well. I don't think there'll be too many more, to be honest. I think Dubravka and Almiron are probably the 2 that might head out. Wilson, Trippier's linked, I get it, but I don't see that. I don't see them leaving, personally, for me. If you have a stupid bid for Trippier, like 10 to 15 million because of his age, and same as Wilson, you've probably got to look at it. But the problem is with Wilson is how do you replace those goals? Because when he plays, he scores 1 and 2. How do you replace that? It's not going to be cheap. You're going to have to go crazy, aren't you? 40 million upwards. Whereas Trippier, you've got Livramento, who was seen last season, can replace him, and he was absolutely outstanding for me. He was absolutely brilliant. And you've got obviously the Kraft, and you've got Ashby underneath him, and we'll have to see what happens to Ashby as well. Frimpong will not be coming since he's playing Champions League football. He's had a great season, hasn't he? Absolutely brilliant season, without a shadow of a doubt. Tomori would be quality signings for us. Centre back and a right winger should be our main priority this season. Gutted to lost Anderson. I think there's massive potential. Do you know what, of Elliot Anderson though? I think it's a good move for him, and 35 million for a player who's never scored. I think that's decent. Because you would probably say he's a creative player and he's never scored. And I think it's actually pretty good business for Newcastle considering the PSR. I hope that doesn't come back and haunt our mind because his potential, as you say, is big, but he's not going to get in centre midfield. I don't think he's going to get in that left wing position. Maybe the right wing, but is he a right winger? Doubt that. Trippier for another season, yeah. And we've got Tino as well. Yeah, brilliant. I just want to touch upon, I'll come back to you, the live chat before we start wrapping up, because I like to try and keep this within half an hour normally. Is the Lasses have announced 3 signings which was fantastic to see. We're seeing Deanna Cooper, who's the centre-back, who's won the league and a couple of domestic cups with Chelsea, so she'll bring experience, so it's great that we're seeing her, so that's fantastic. I don't know if you've seen Joe's video, but please check it out. On the next women's podcast, we'll be talking about those two signings. Obviously, we've got Shania Hales as well, who signed a little powerful, pacey dribbler striker, and then we've obviously signed Andrews as well from Durham. She's a goal scorer. She had her first season at Durham last season. I think she scored 8 in total, including League and Cup. But in America, she smashed it. So we are signing players in a high caliber who've played in higher leagues, which is great for the lasses. So more to come with the lasses. And of course, we've seen Anna Soulsby get a move to Durham Sestria. Nikki Giaz has gone to Durham Sestria as well. We're not sure if that's a loan or not. And obviously, we'll talk about Kira Skelton getting a move to Middlesbrough. So a lot of stuff, official business is happening with the women. And obviously, we'll keep you updated here on NFTV. And don't forget our sister channel, NFTV Extra. Right, then let's have a little look before we start wrapping up. What is I saying then? Right. The ladies team need a new keeper, in my opinion. Possibly. Watch this space. We might get one. You never know. I think we might switch it at the back. I don't to risk playing 3 at the back, mind. Great signing for the lasses and a big game for AC Milan women for them. Yeah, it is. It's a big announcement, which is brilliant to see. And then obviously get yourselves to the Cellar Cup on that Saturday, because you've got that double header as well. So yeah, but we'll be bringing you all the coverage as well. I'll try and get a few of these out through the week as well, but I wanted to do a transfer rumour one because I like to call them out. So the only one that I think that's got a bit of truth in today's show is the Martin Dubravka one. I think that's probably the one that's got a bit of legs. But yeah, drop us a like. I'm going to end it here, everyone. Thanks for watching on Twitch. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody. See you. Watch what you're saying. Bye-bye.